Hello everyone, here we are in Shiraz of Iran, and we have Hans from Germany. He's a very interesting traveler from Germany, so we will make a brief interview to him. And first of all, can you make a brief introduction of yourself?
Yeah, of course. Actually, my name is not Hans, but it's okay. People call me. It's like my nickname. Many people call me Hans, but actually, my name is Daniel or Danny. I'm from Germany, Munich, and 26 years old. And yes, now I met Pepper here in this hostel in Shiraz, staying here for 3 days already, and there's no end. Maybe we will see. And now Pepper came just with the idea to make this podcast, and because I was just lying there, I said, why not? Let's do it.
Okay. Thanks anyway. And I'm pretty interested about your about the travel. I think maybe a lot of people are also interested. Yeah. So I'm talking about your profession. What's your profession before your travel?
Yes, I am audiovisual media designer. I made a trainee in Germany when I started with 18 years and took 3 years at the Bayerischer Rundfunk, Bavarian Broadcast in Munich, in my home city. Took 3 years, and then I also worked another 2 more years at the same company. So I was working 5 years, and then I said it's enough. But on the paper, I'm audiovisual media designer, what means I make camera, post-production mostly, editing, special effects, everything what has to do with film. This is all my equipment here actually, so I'm good equipped. I make, photography is what I most like, and videography, of course, and that's what I learned.
So actually, he's actually a very professional one. And he's also a very famous YouTuber, and is very popular in Germany. And I will post his YouTube here, yes, and you can subscribe him. And here we're talking about the travel. So, how long have you traveled, and about this trip, and where did you start it?
Yeah, it began 2 years ago, nearly 2 years ago, at my hometown. So I started from my hometown in Munich, not directly in Munich, like 15 kilometers in a suburb area. And then I started in the first year traveling Europe first, like Southern Europe, Western Europe, a little bit of Northern Europe. And after 1 year, I started a little bit missing my family, and maybe Europe was done at this point, because 1 year is a long time. But there are, of course, many different cultures and many countries in Europe, so you can spend a lot of time there. But after 1 year, it felt like I need to go home for a little bit, and actually the journey was also planned for just 1 year. I said I will go 1 year, maybe longer, maybe short, I don't know. But after 1 year, I want to go back home. So I've done this. Also, my money was getting less and less because I was living from savings. So I came back for 3 months, which was in the end 4 months or 5 months. I was working 3 months at home. But I was sure I would like to continue the journey. So then I started again after a break of 3 months in last winter, and I decided I have to leave Europe fast, because Europe's done. I want to see another continent, because never in my life I've seen another continent than Europe. So I went the fastest way to Asia, which is probably the best way. So you can just go to Africa or Asia from Europe if you don't want to take airplane, because I try to avoid airplane as long as it's possible. So I went through the Balkans in winter, crossed the Alps in winter, then the Balkans. I arrived in Turkey this year in spring, 3 months in Turkey, and then Georgia, Armenia, and now I'm in Iran. And so the journey is around about 2 years now.
That's quite a long time, and especially for the bicycle. And it definitely gets a lot of very interesting experience during your long trip. So can you tell me one of the most terrible experiences you've ever had during the trip?
The most terrible, you say?
Yeah.
So the most negative. Yeah, first of all, I have to say there are not really less bad experiences. I thought it will be much more, because people are saying, oh, it's dangerous, don't go do this in this country. People always say it's dangerous everywhere, but in the end it's really safe. This was my experience. So there were never really big, terrible things that happened until 2 weeks ago. There was one situation. It was kind of critical, because I got attacked by 4 young guys on motorcycle in the night. Yeah.
On the road?
Not on the road. It was at my camp spot in a park in a smaller city. I think like 20,000 inhabitants. So a small city in the mountains in Iran. So there was my camp spot.
It's near Tabriz?
No, near Xiake in like 200 kilometers north from this place. I was sleeping there, and at 12 o'clock in the night, 4 guys on motorcycle were coming. It's actually pretty usual here in Iran. There are many people cycling, not cycling, with a motorbike, driving around. Most of the time they are just friendly, want to know. They will invite me, give me food, and give me everything I need. So people in Iran are so friendly, most friendliest people. But we have to know, all over the world there are some bad people. It's nothing about the country, but at this point I was just unlucky to be at the wrong spot at the wrong time. So these people came, and one of them, they were very aggressive. I don't know what the hell was the problem there, but one guy was just screaming at my tent and very aggressive. I think possibly he was on drugs. I don't know what kind of drugs. He was screaming, and I came out of the tent, asked what's the problem here. Of course they didn't understand, because I can't talk Farsi, but anyway I looked what's going on there, and then the guy he grabbed my bike, threw it on the ground, slided it over the ground, wanted to put it away first, and then he picked some stones from the ground and threw stones at me with no reason. Really, I've done nothing. No reason, I don't know why. Threw small stones that he missed every stone, luckily, but then he took big stones and threw it at my tent and me, and but every rock missed me, and after 10 minutes they went away, and I came away with the shock. Just my tent was a little bit broken, but I could repair it. And this was a situation, if this big rock hit my head, it could have been over, but I'm fine with that, because I live my life every day, so it can be over anytime. So even more dangerous is traffic accidents. So that's actually the most dangerous part, and other humans. It's not animals or something like that. It's not thunderstorms. It can be over anytime, and at this point I realized this once again. So it was not a nice experience, but I recovered after one day, and I still feel pretty safe in this country. I still feel pretty safe in what I'm doing, and there is some risk and you can't avoid it. So, but
Okay, so it's really sorry and terrifying of hearing that. But yes, there's crazy people everywhere, and but most of the people in the world, are pretty friendly and pretty helpful. And but we have to be careful about the dangers and try to avoid it. But when it comes, that's it. That's happened. Yeah, life is just like that. So, hope you're going to have a safer journey in the future. And okay. Talking about the most terrible experience, and you can get a better one, get positive things about one of the most impressive experience you have during this trip.
Yeah, I always say there are so many good experiences and so many situations in my head I can remember if I think about these 2 years, so I can't pick one. No. I can't pick one best. I can tell you some of the best. Yes. But I think maybe the most interesting, the most life-changing moments or situations I had when I crossed border to Turkey, because there there was the big difference. So in Europe, the countries, the culture is different, but it's kind of similar. So it's not a big change between the countries. There's many small countries, of course. And when I was in Turkey, this was like the first border crossing where really things changed, where people changed. Like the hospitality of the people in Turkey, it's just crazy. You get much more attention on the road. So in Europe, nobody cares about you cycling because there's many tourists and they just don't care, the people. Sometimes you get invited, of course. There are also friendly people, but you can't compare it to countries like Turkey and Iran, of course. I come later to that. But in Turkey, it began. Because I saw just many people are inviting me, and I was talking to many people. And of course, also the further east you go, the poorer the people get. They have less money, and you see it because I like to cycle not like in big cities. I like to cycle through small villages to see how the local people are and how the country really is. So I try to avoid the touristy areas. As I say, touristy areas are always fake. You don't learn much about the country if you just go to the beach and where everybody goes. It's just the same everywhere. So I try to go in the villages where nobody would actually go to see how the people react there to me and how they have to tell. And there I experienced like the poor people. The people are living there in really rough conditions. They don't have much. They are just living there in these small villages, isolated from the world. And people told me a lot about what they're doing, and I experienced that the people, they don't have much, but I felt like they are much happier than the European people who have much more money, cars, big flats and gardens. In Turkey, nobody. So they are, of course, also good people, but on the villages, they just have small house. They just have some animals to take care of. There's not much happening in the life. But because it's so simple, the life there, maybe that's why the people are more happy there. And there I experience you don't need much to be happy. And most of the time the people who don't have much, they give much more. So, and that's what I experienced, and this really changed something in my mind. Actually, I had a big conflict in my head because I was thinking I'm from Europe, I'm like a better person. What is completely bullshit. We are just all the same, we are just all humans. I'm not better. I don't have better life because I'm from Europe. It's bullshit. You don't need much, and I have to learn this, that I'm not better people and we are all the same, and that's what I really like. And this was in Turkey, like big conflict in my head. And actually it changed much more in Iran, because here it's even more intensive, more hospitality than in Turkey, and completely other culture. But I learned this in Turkey because there it starts, and of course there are many countries to come. I still haven't seen a lot of this world, so I'm really excited what I will learn in the future.
It's quite similar with my first experience to Nepal and India, because that's the first time I got out of China. But at that time I also very impressive about even they are living in a very poor condition, but they are still pretty happy and living a very simple but happy life. Yeah. It's actually the happiness is not count on the money or how many, what kind of luxury apartment and what kind of car you have, and it's more about the attitude towards the life and the natures and everything. Yeah. That's the same. That's a similar experience I have. And thank you for the last question. And the next one is tell me the meaning of traveling to you. You must get some of the feelings of understanding about your travel. So it's already 2 years, and before that you also went to travel for a long time. So can you tell me the meaning of your travel?
Yeah, It's tough question actually, but I always say the meaning or why do I do it is because I want to explore. This is like my passion. I want to explore unknown areas. I see the world like a big playground, I always say, like a playground with lots of unknown cities and nature and people, and I want to see everything because that's like feels like it's my task for my life. And yeah, so that's the meaning. It's hard to say. I have to think about it shortly.
Exploring the world is.
Yeah, and this it gives me a lot because I get more confident. I learn a lot about life, other cultures. I always say I'm most interested in nature, and I feel best just being in nature. But actually, nature is just the smallest part of the journey. It's more about the peoples and the cultures and the situations and stories you hear from the people. This is what keeps in mind. Of course, I have like dozens of nice sunsets in the mountains, and there are some special sunsets or camp spots I remember, but there are much more stories with people that I remember, because this is what changes you, and this is what makes your mind working, and this is what makes you getting wiser and older. And nature is just a side aspect. It's nice to have. This is what motivates me maybe a little bit to find the best spots. This is what keeps me going, because this you kind of can plan this. You can plan what road you will go. You can plan what mountain you can go, but you cannot plan what people will talk to you. Yeah. Like the really spontaneous, the spontaneous things. These are the things what makes the journey really nice and helpful.
Uncertain and unpredictable.
Yes, yeah, unpredictable things. Yeah, these are the things I remember much, and it feels like it's just the right thing what I'm doing right now, and I'm just getting more and more motivated every day. Of course, there are some days I'm not motivated, but it's that's life, because there are no highs if there are no downs. So I feel good doing it like this, and I can imagine doing it 10 more years, 20 more years. I have no idea. I just live.
I'm a little jealous about that now.
Yeah, I don't look so far in the future. I don't even know what I'm doing this evening. So I don't know what I do tomorrow. I just know I stay in Shiraz for 3 more days at least, but afterward I have no idea. I change my plans so often because it's spontaneous. That's very good.
Yeah, I also get similar feelings about this. It's about the travel. It's the most interesting part is the things you're going to meet, and the people you're going to meet, and the things you're going to suffer, good or bad, and everything is. It's just like kind of a RPG game, and you're just exploring this whole map by yourself, and through this kind of things. Actually, this all this kind of unpredictable and the things that you get through is already a part of your life already, because if your life is consist of the memories that you have get through, that means all the memories and all the things you have get through is a part of you. That's actually this travel makes you a brand new one, a brand new you yourself. Yeah, I think that's the feeling for the travel to me. Yeah. And for that's the next question. Do you have a plan? No plan. Yeah. Maybe you can. Yeah.
So I have, of course, you cannot go without any plan, but the important thing is that you don't make something safe, so that you keep the ability to change your plans as often as possible. It gets more difficult in the countries where you need a visa, So that's what I need to plan, because if I want to go to Pakistan, I need visa. So I need to get this 4 weeks in advance minimum. Otherwise, they don't let me in. This was in Europe another story. There you can just go over the border with no control. So of course I need to have a rough plan in my head, but it changes so often. And yes, it changed last 2 weeks ago. Actually, I want to go Saudi Arabia and Oman first for a long time. This was a long time, the rough plan in my head. And 2 weeks ago, some things happened, and yeah, just things are changing. I don't know what I want to do in 1 month, so it's changing often. But I kept the ability to change it, and now the plan is to go to Pakistan and India. And I still can change it. I have the visa, but I'm not forced to go to Pakistan. I'm just forced to leave Iran when the visa is over, but I still have 1 month I can extend. So I have as much freedom left. That's very good.
Actually, it's also quite similar with life. Actually, you can have a rough plan for your future, but actually there's so many things is unpredictable, and you cannot control all the situations that comes to you, and you also cannot imagine what did you think in the future. Actually, it's always changing, and yeah, that's similar with life. Yeah. It's just follow the flow, and everything will come to you, and I think that's how it works. Yeah. So I got another very important question. It's about how did you get the money from to support your long trip? Yeah.
That's a question everybody is asking. But I can understand why people ask. But yeah, check. I can understand why people ask it, because it looks like I'm just traveling around and I'm not working and I'm just having unlimited money. But it looks like it, but that's not the case. I am working, and I was working a lot before the journey. You can't start this journey without money, that's quite sure. But what's also right is my journey, it costs less money than like living in Germany or in Munich. It's actually really expensive. So yeah, costs, it's a lot about the country, what country you're in. Of course, it changes a lot, the costs. But you should really save some money before you do something like this. You can do it without money, but I don't like this, because many people just try to get things from like other people or get use the hospitality. And I think like I'm from fucking Germany. I'm like so privileged. I'm so lucky to get born in this country. This is also one thing I learned on a journey, to be so privileged, have this strong passport. I can earn a lot of money and travel to nearly every country in the world. And why should I not get my ass off then and work for myself and save the money so I can work, I can earn the money to do it by myself. So I've done this. I worked I said I made a trainee and 2 years of working, and I saved a lot of money there. I didn't save it for the journey because I didn't know I will do this journey. It was also a very spontaneous decision, but I had the savings, so this is the first thing. And of course savings, they hold maybe 1 year, 2 year, depends of course, but it's not forever. So you have to find a way to earn money on traveling while you're on the way. And you can earn money. There are many different possibilities in this modern world. You can work remote on a laptop, you can do work and travel on farms. So you can work in the countries with work and travel visa. So there are so many possibilities. If you really want to do it, you can find a way to earn the money. And it gets much easier if you don't spend much money. So I'm living in a tent, I don't have much, I don't need much food. I need much food, but I try to cook by myself lots of time. In Europe I was eating noodles every day because I couldn't go to restaurants, it was too expensive. Yeah. So try to keep your costs low, and then it's much easier, you don't have to work that much then. And yeah, if I come to my case, I make money with YouTube videos and photography and Instagram. What also was not my plan in the beginning. I started with YouTube videos just for fun, for my family, because I wanted to do it for myself. And then at some point, strangers were coming, looking the videos, and the channel started growing and growing and growing. And then I got more motivation. Then I saw the potential of this channel, and I got really excited, and I want to get better and better and better. Because if I do something, I want to get better, of course. It's my own. Yes. Getting better and better in what you do. So I tried it. I want to get better videos, better equipment, and learning a lot, sitting a lot in front of the computer. That's what you don't see in the YouTube videos when I'm editing these. But it's happening. It's just behind the camera. So I put a lot of effort in my own business, I would say, and I succeeded pretty good, and now I make some money, and still I don't need much in Iran. If you want to hear numbers, in Iran I need like $500, maybe $400 for 1 month. That's enough. And with $400 you don't even get a single room in Munich. So it's nothing actually. You in Germany you have to work maybe 1 week, and then you have this. You can work 1 week, travel 3 weeks, and you can combine it, put it together. So there are so many ways. If you, in summary, you can say if you want it, if you really want it, you will find a way to make the money for it.
Yeah, definitely. I also get some questions about this, but from my friends before. So why did you can travel for such a long time? Where did you get the money? Yeah, actually, especially when you really want to start a travel, they have so many kind of ways, and you can use your savings, especially in this kind of a country. It's not cost that much, but you can learn quite a lot of things and get through a lot of things with these countries. They are so different, and from Europe and from China, and yes, I think the most important things. If you want to travel, just start to travel, and all the things will come to you, and you can solve the problems by yourself in many different ways, and that's the most important thing. And yeah. Okay, let's go to the last question. Okay, if you go back to the past, can you say several words to yourself when you start your travel? Just start your travel. Go back to past.
I will not do this because I say everything. Of course, I've done very much stupid things in the beginning. I've done so many stupid things in my life as a child. Of course. And I could say to my 10 years younger me, don't do this. But I'm happy I've done wrong things. So because from every mistake you make, you will learn a lot. And so I'm happy with how it happened, and I really sometimes I wish I would be more unexperienced, like in the beginning, to know less, because then it's much more adventure. Because this is what it's about. If you don't know how to fix a flat tire, in the beginning I didn't know anything about bikes, and of course you have lots of problems, or you're scared in the night of some animals because you don't know the sounds. But that's what it is. Of course it's scary, and of course I can say, yeah, that's a reindeer, that's a wild pig or a wild boar, and then I know it and I don't have fear, but then it's just boring. So I'm happy that there are problems. I wouldn't change anything. I would do it exactly as I've done it when I started. So simple.
Yeah, that's a really nice answer. Yeah, actually, all the things you get through becomes the you. Now you are. Yes, it's never is either it's good or bad. It's all the parts of your life, and it consists now the who you are. It's proves now who you are. Yes. Oh, thanks for you.
Maybe one thing to add.
Yes.
This sounds like don't be too stupid that it's getting really dangerous. So you have, of course, to take a little bit of care. Maybe you should not go, if you're very unexperienced, don't go to the coldest region in the world, and start slowly, and don't go from 0 to 100 in like one day, because this can be really dangerous. There are also people who are doing this, and they are lucky maybe, but be careful, of course, but not too careful.
Yeah. Just keep the adventure level. It's not too high one. Okay. Thanks for your share, and hope you have a nice journey. And maybe we can meet some other place in the world. Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. In Germany, we say you always meet twice in life. So, Pepper, probably I will meet you again somewhere.
Yeah. It's a small word. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Godafes.
Bye. Okay.
And